So hello, welcome to Rags to Riches in Football Manager 2016 with Basingstoke. So this is similar but different from the one I did back in 2014. This is going to be more of a checkup rather than a game-by-game basis. I'm not going to go through the transfer market too terribly much, just going to go ahead and show you where I'm going with Basingstoke and how we've gotten this far. So this is the mid-season checkup for Basingstoke here at the very first episode. So as you can see here, Football Manager 2016 is very different from any other Football Manager so far. A lot more information thrown at you right away, and I'm actually really enjoying it so far. You just have to get used to the interface, and then it actually works really nicely. So let's go and start with the league table. The interesting stuff, right? We are first right now. Little old Basingstoke first after 26 games. We're mid-season. There's 42 games total. So we're at 26 games and 0 losses. We have had one heck of a season this year, and I have to thank probably my tactic for that. We'll get more into that a little bit later. But 56 points after 26 games with 0 losses. Obviously, a lot of draws here, but 29 goal difference. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And this really comes down to the defense here. Without knowing anything about the players specifically, you'll see them in a little bit. But basically, Mark Ethelson is our superstar defender. He's loaned in from Reading, our parent club. But he has a bit of a discipline issue. 14 yellow cards so far. He's missed 3 matches. No, 4 matches because of cards. Because he got a straight up red card. And then he also has 14 yellow cards. He's missed a lot. He's had a lot of bad discipline. As you can see, 6th highest in yellow cards. We're not the best disciplined team. 14th highest in red cards. So, I mean, that's good. Out of 22, we're 14th. Awesome. But 6th in yellow cards. That's kind of a rough time. But our defense, he's one of our superstar defenders. And it really shows. Our defense goals allowed 18, whereas goals scored 47, leading to our 29 beautiful goal difference there. So as for the season for the whole group, the whole league, the Vanarama South, let's go and look at their transfers real quick. This is the North-South. It's non-league. We're semi-professional. You can see we're semi-professional. We're not wealthy. We don't really trade money for people. It's more of half the players are not on any sort of contract, and you just kind of make do with what you can scrounge up. If you can loan players, great. But for the most part, the players you're going to be getting are just free transfers that are throwaways from league clubs, and we are non-league. We are non-FIFA. I believe that is what it is. So last year, the real Basingstoke team, last year, which is part of the reason why I wanted to play them, they finished 3rd last year, and they just missed out on promotion. So I figured, hey, let's take these guys up into the Vanarama National League instead of the North-South League. They'll be in the actual National League. And that's what I'm aiming for, and boy, we've done well. But the transfer market here. So as far as stats for players, my players aren't all that impressive. Ethelson's up there for yellow cards. Lewis Wilson's up there for assists. But aside from that, my players are not overly impressive. Aside from games 1. Aside from games 1, we're not impressive. We're just not. As far as the transfer market is concerned, the only money transferred is from Mansfield to Ebbsfleet for Jamie Maguire for $9.5 thousand, which may sound like a lot, but in football, it's nothing. It's really nothing. These are the rest of the transfers. If you want to go ahead and pause, if you want to jump into Basingstoke and play, and try to play what I've played, these are the transfers I've made coming in. Let's see if there's another one. There it is. There's some more. Ontwi was probably one of my best transfers, I think. Lewis Wilson, transfer in. Ian Rees, pretty good stuff. And then, of course, dumping off some excess people as well on loan. Where's the last loan here? There it is. Very, very bottom. Mark Ethelson on loan from Reading. So that's all his transfers are so far. Head coach movements. There's been quite a few. Poor league position being some big ones. We just jumped in, took over Basingstoke right away. Don't even have to worry about it. But a lot of poor league positions have been showing up, and poor results. I'm actually surprised Concord Rangers. Oh, he was offered a new job. Okay. They didn't ditch their head coach. He moved on to a new job. Fair enough. Concord Rangers actually was doing pretty well. If we look at the season preview here, Concord Rangers expected to be 16th. We're expected to be 14th, whereas Ebbsfleet's expected to be 1st, Whitehawk 2nd, Sutton 3rd. And you actually look at where we're at. Ebbsfleet's sitting in 4th. They've recovered from their beginning early season debacle of starting in last. Sutton is sitting in 17th, however. Concord Rangers in 10th. They're doing great. And Whitehawk way down in 18th. Really, really sad. Not a lot you can do about that, though. The big issue teams, though, for Basingstoke, the big issue teams that we've had, Dartford, Bath, and St. Albans were the 3 that we've had the hardest time against. But you see, we haven't had any losses so far. We'll go ahead and jump into the schedule to go ahead and look at the actual results. Really great preseason. Got a nice solid game in against Southampton, showing we can score on a Premier League side. That felt good. And then from there, as the tactic developed and as the tactic got more refined, the players got more used to the tactic, they really started holding goals back and really hammering in game after game with 4 goals, 3 goals. And then 2 goals is not uncommon for us to score. And honestly, if we fail to score in a game, like here against Dartford, it's a pretty bad game. Pretty bad game if we fail to score. Maidstone, probably the most entertaining match so far this season, and we've yet to play Arsenal. But a 6-3, very entertaining match. As you can see, we had a couple injuries. That does remind me, though, going back up to the very first game against Ebbsfleet. Look at this. Red card, injury. I ended this match like this. All right, so Chris Flood was in, Gasson was in, and then aside from that, Jamie Brown, you can see he came in. I pulled him off because of injury. Ethelson and Tom Bird were both sent off for red cards, so we're down 3 players. We're down to 8 players, and we managed to score after Tom Bird gets sent off. We get sent down to 8, and then Lewis Wilson goes in for the score after they had just scored on us to tie. It really was a magical first game. This was such a stressful game. 8 players, and we still have to play up until 90 minutes. We're at 78 minutes, and we're trying to just hold on to a win here with 8 players. We didn't even have a complete defense. We had half a defense. So it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad, but I really put Ebbsfleet to shame. Those that were predicted to have the title firmly in their grasp were put to shame here. It's probably the most exciting game, most stressful game for me. Was the very first one against Ebbsfleet, and after that, we really just kind of went off and just refused to let in goals, and it's really been a fantastic time. And that includes our FA Cup journey. So in the FA Cup for us, we started in the second qualifying round against Truro, beat them handily, went to Met Police, and beat them at home on a replay match very handily. 4th round, crushed Chesham. Chesham? I'm not sure. Maybe someone from the UK can correct me on that. Is Chesham or Chesham? I'm not sure. And that actually kicked us in the first round. We were not expected to get past the 4th qualifying round. We've been given some really nice draws. We go into the first round against Braintree. They are 1 league ahead of us. Chesham, Met Police, 1 league below us. Truro in the same league. Braintree in the same league, Braintree's one league ahead of us, managed to beat them, and then continue on in the second round against Boreham Wood, also one league ahead of us. Ended up taking that back home, beating them in extra time. Again, Lewis Wilson being our savior. There's a recurring theme here. Lewis Wilson has been one heck of a player for us. He's leading the league in assists, and he's right there with our striker for actual goals scored. Really impressive season for Lewis Wilson. Make it into the third round, go against Kidderminster. Again, one league above us. Now, in the third round, I just want to show the third round here. We're in the third round. Now, you see right here, left and right, this is the leagues that they're in. League 2 champion, Premiership champion, Premiership champion. Okay, League 1. Okay, the odds that a Vanarama North-South team would get placed against a Vanarama National League team. There's only 2 National League teams, Gateshead and Kidderminster, and then 1 North-South team, Basingstoke. That's all that's left. Like, aside from getting Kidderminster or Gateshead, we would hope for a League 2 team or a massive team like Arsenal or Chelsea and really get some, get some money from the match. But we didn't. We got Kidderminster, which is absolutely super lucky because Kidderminster is sitting in 20th right now. They're actually the better of the two because if we had gotten Gateshead, they're currently leading the National League. They probably would have beaten us, but we got someone who's on low morale, just weak defense, weak offense, not really happy to be in the National League. And honestly, I feel like we really got the easiest team to go against there, which is great because that actually kicked us into beating them 3-1 at their place in full time. Didn't even have to go into injury time, didn't have to go into extra time. We did have injury time, of course. We did not go into extra time there. And we actually beat them 3-1 with the first match going to 2-2, which then brings us, of course, to the fourth round for where we are right now in the FA Cup. We got pitted against Arsenal. We are a 50-1 to actually survive this match. What I'm hoping for here is we can scrounge up a draw. I want a draw. I want to go to Arsenal, to their stadium, and get some cash out of it. But as it stands, the third round alone has given us so much money that our profit this season is literally from the FA Cup. The second round plus third round is our profit. It's absolutely amazing how far we've gotten in the FA Cup because of just sheer luck. We're trying for the FA Trophy. No guarantee. Right now we're going up against Bath. Again, incredible luck that we get someone of our own league instead of someone of a higher league. The FA Trophy is just non-league teams, North-South and VNL. We're hoping that we can scrounge through. There's not a lot of great teams left. So we'll see. We'll see how the FA Trophy goes. You guys will find out that in the next episode when I do the end-of-season review. Still still some games left. I guess it's a little more than halfway through the season, but still a little bit of time left. As for the squad and the tactics, so very few injuries right now. Kind of lucky. We just went through a really bad injury crisis about a month ago. Really bad injury crisis, and we were scrounging off of our youth team to try and fill up our substitution ranks. It was really bad, but we held on to it. We had enough first team and second team members to really punch through and survive. And now we're here, full strength team going against Arsenal. Don't think it'll last, but we'll try. As for our tactics, I did promise we'd look at that. So this is my primary tactic, the 4-2-3-1 wide. So we're playing a 4-2-3-1, so 4 defenders, 2 midfielders, 3 attacking midfielders, and then 1 striker. Played as a poacher on attack. We have 2 wingers on the side, Flood and Wilson. On support with an advanced playmaker sitting in the center where McAuley is. That is support. And then we have a ball-winning midfielder on defense and a deep-lying playmaker also on support. with the hope that pretty much anyone that's on offense can swing for a goal, but because there's so many supporting characters, anyone in a good position can also swing for a goal. And then Harper, right here, the ball-winning midfielder, will be sitting on defense in the hopes that as a defensive, or it's not a defensive midfielder, but as a defender in the midfield, he can help keep control of the ball and keep it on the offense, keep it on their half of the field, not on our half of the field. If they do manage to break through our ball-winning midfielder, we're sitting on 4 solid defenders. So 2 limited fullbacks, each on the side. So we have Bird and Ruddock. And then we're sitting on 2 central defenders. Again, all pure defense, not even having our fullbacks come up to cross the ball or anything. They are just pure defense in an effort to stop people from scoring on us. And as you saw at the beginning of the episode, we've only allowed 18 goals in 26 matches. It's really, really worked. They cannot break our defenses easily. So, this is generally our just general tactic here. We're playing a sweeper keeper just to help some fluidity, keep our keeper a little bit further out so that the defenders, when they're being pressed by the opposition's offense, they can pass to the keeper and the keeper can clear it out instead of sending it all the way back to the goalkeeper. Having a sweeper keeper, he plays a sweeper role as well as a goalkeeper role. So he should do his job fairly nicely there, and he has been. He's been doing exactly what I wanted him to do, exactly what a sweeper keeper should do. He does exactly what I mentioned. He passes the ball back, and he clears it. No problem. Team instructions. Tempo-wise, we play a slow, methodical, wait for our opening type of game. It's set to normal tempo, but it is a little bit... It's a patient game. It really is a patient game. So we're set to clear the ball to the flanks all the time, and this is in an effort to just get rid of the ball if it's in danger. Just send it out and hope that if we don't get it, it goes out for a throw-in, basically. When we do have the ball on offense, we send it in to work it into the box. There's no reason to take a shot from long. The players are not super skillful, so they need to get a nice close-range shot that's really easy to get to, which means they have to work their way through the defense. They have to make openings, which is, of course, where the clear ball to flanks works, as they make some openings that way. Again, because they're not a super skillful team, this is a structured team shape. So stay in formation at all times, if at all possible. It's not highly structured, but it is structured. So the goal is to make them stay in their formation. And then we also want them to be more disciplined. So even more so, just stick to your role, stick to your formation, stick to your position. Trust in the tactic. Don't trust in your own ability. If you trust in the tactic, we'll be fine. And so far, that's worked exactly perfectly. Also, use the offside trap. As long as they stick to the tactic, the offside trap will really limit the opposition's offense from actually breaking through. So this has actually worked out quite well, like you guys saw. This tactic is exactly as you see it. It's not complicated. It's very defensive, with a poacher that's his entire role is to sit in there and just punch in goals. That's all he has to do, is just sit there and punch in goals. And between Liam Envermarum, John Jomuko, which is a Equatorial Guinean national, international, sorry, he's an international player. Awesome to have. Between those two, Chris Flood and Lewis Wilson. You see the goals are actually spread out fairly well amongst my offense, even though we have dedicated goal scorers. So it's pretty impressive the way it's all worked out here. So, set pieces, I have literally just let it set to default. I have not messed with the set pieces at all. These are just default set pieces. Nothing that I'm worried about. Opposition instructions, again, nothing that I've automatically set. It's on a game-by-game basis. No individual player instructions. I have no individual player instructions. So, if you're looking for a really simple, easy tactics to implement, this one works. At least for non-league teams, this works quite handily. We'll see how we do against Arsenal. I'm expecting a pretty heavy loss. But if we can hold them to a draw, we'll be sitting pretty well. We'll be sitting pretty well. So, anyways, guys, that is the mid-season report for the Rags to Riches. I guess that's probably an achievement still. That's probably an achievement. Rags to Riches for Basingstoke. And aside from that, there's not a whole lot more to show. Let's see if we can look at match performance. Very interesting new way that FSIM 16 shows match performance. I don't like it as much because I liked being able to see the percentages. It's like this is 50% or something like that. Whereas these would be like, 90% against Ebbsfleet. Or 40% down here for these low ones. Like, I don't know what the percentages are. I liked seeing the percentages, but ultimately 58% overall match confidence. So I guess that works. I miss the percentages. I miss being able to see the percentages. I like the graph. I think that's cool, but I miss the percentages. But as for that, everything has gone fairly well. I don't know why they're disappointed about club issues. There hasn't been club issues, but whatever. So, anyways, guys, that'll do it for this episode. So, as always, thank you for watching, and I will definitely do a follow-up for the end of season. If you guys want to see more, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends so that those Football Manager fanatics can also see what's going on. I have several thousand hours of experience in the game, so feel free to comment below if you have any questions. And aside from that, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. DFTBA.